too much grease from chicken wings. Oh boy. Well, good evening, good people. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. Hope everybody's having a great day. Man, it is for the Cowboys, week number 2 in the books. Brian Schottenheimer has his midnight rule. You enjoy the game that you played until midnight. And he looked exhausted. He said that he had a bad week, so to speak. I think his dogs got bit by snakes and had to go to the vets. His 82-year-old mother broke her arm at the airport slipping and couldn't go to his first home game as a head coach of the Dallas Cowboys and see the win. And the game had to be exhausting. He said he ends up doing his shoddy, which is Tito's, lemonade, and Tito's, iced tea, and some lemons. He said his voice is going that he'll get a few shotties after the press conference, and I just watched the press conference in its entirety and have to say that I am so happy for Brian Schottenheimer getting his first win as the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. He now has the monkey off his back. So, watching that game, my God, I can guarantee you, Cowboy fans, we gave up more times than you can shake a stick at. Literally, because you just kept seeing Russell Wilson, and shout out to Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson was cooking like he hasn't since he's been in Seattle. He had over 440 yards passing. We had so many blown assignments, I think, in the secondary, and we just looked awful. We looked awful on defense. But here's what I said before the season started. Cowboys going to need to score like 36 points a game to win. And that was when we had Micah Parsons. And that hasn't changed in my mind. Now, we had big news, of course. Giovanni and Clowney. I know I'm mispronouncing his name. It'll take me months to get it right. Turns out he signed a 1-year deal worth $3.5 million, but up to $6 million, which sounds a lot like what Dante Fowler signed. 1 year's deal, relatively cheap, and so on. We were definitely missing the pass rushing. The Giants' offensive line looked polar different than they did last week. They looked like what you thought the Eagles' offensive line was going to be. Okay, I'm mystified here. Not that I'm worried about the Eagles, but the Eagles only scored 20 points against Kansas City. They only scored 24 points against us. And Saquon didn't exactly have a great game. They seem to be having some problems with their offense. Okay, and the reason I say that is you just saw the Giants put up 37 on us. And the Eagles could only put up 24. And that was with help from the officials with those holding calls. Yeah, they got some problems with the play calling. Don't let Eagles trash talking fool you. They're worried that this is not the same team. And this is where the Cowboys should look at this and say, okay, the Eagles have a tough schedule the first half of the season, and they're not looking as good. Now, to their credit, the Eagles didn't look great the first 4 games of last year, and then they turned it on. That's still possible. But you should look at this and say, you went toe for toe against them in their house, that maybe you should look at trying to do a little bit more here to try and make a run. The Commanders are beat up and old. And for everybody to say that the Commanders, they're such a great team and they're so talented, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Losing Austin Eckler and the other player that they lost, they're already beat up. Jalen Daniels, MRI Friday. It's getting reevaluated tomorrow. That ain't good in week number 2. Now you look at the Green Bay Packers and say right now they're the best team in football through the first 2 weeks, but it's still the first month of football. What I actually feel good about from this game is, I want you to think of, don't look at this and say, oh my God, the Cowboys just got lucky and won. I get that. But here's the thing. People at least rated the Giants' front seven as one of the best ones in football. You've put up 40 points on that front. Javonte Williams, who definitely deserves a game ball, as Brian Schottenheimer put it, wishes that he had gotten 3 more yards so he would have gotten 100. Made some incredible runs. He has got to get a game ball, okay? Being able to run against that front, and that front, they were trying to bully the hell out of Dak Prescott. They were literally saying, we're going to avenge those 13 losses on you, Dak. And they kept coming through there and making boneheaded mistakes after boneheaded mistakes. You can't keep hitting the quarterback late and thinking it's not going to hurt you. That shit hurts. We've got some injuries. Cooper Beebe, more evaluation. Kayvon Turpin had x-rays and he came out good. He said he's a little bit stiff. He's wearing a neck brace, but he should be fine. Hopefully he's going to be fine. Otherwise, he might have to call an attorney, for the guys who hit him on that one. Okay, auto accident joke. The game was crazy shootout-wise. CeeDee Lamb had some drops early in the game, but I'd rather him have drops early in the game instead of going down crunch, because in crunch time, he came around and started making some really catches in double coverage. Big time catches. CD, I'm going to say he rectified himself from the week before. And I'm going to say George Pickens. Oh my God, Pickens finally showed up. He got a lot of criticism for last week because they said he wasn't selling out on all the hits and things like, you think that he should and things, and that all he has to do is be good for these 17 games and he's got the bag. Well, he came in today and Brian Schottenheimer again quoted and said, I love the guy, I love his attitude and things, and where he is motivating others, and he came through for the Cowboys. So George Pickens has to get a football. My quarterback, Dak Prescott, who people said he can't run, he's old, he's a choker, he stinks. I believe that that's the 26th or 27th game-winning drive that he's led the Cowboys to. And you could almost say that it was 2 of them, because you had the one in the fourth quarter with 25 seconds. 25 seconds. They went down the field, got in field goal range, kicked the field goal, and then when they got the ball at the end of the game, getting him down there, and of course, having the run where he ran and got the first down. First down, Dak Prescott. Dak, gotta get a game ball. Brandon Aubrey, who now has tied the NFL record for 60-plus yard kicks. He's got 4 of them. That guy, that 62-yarder would have been good from 70. As Brian Schottenheimer put it, they said, well, where's the line for Brandon Aubrey? He said, look, we think he can do it for 70 yards. So he said, Dak asked, he said, look, just get the midfield. Okay, 67, 70 yards, we're good. And that is truly there. Jerry Jones needs to run, not walk, and get that guy signed long term. Get it done. He is butter, baby. He is straight up butter. I got to give one to Schottenheimer, because one of the biggest gripes of Mike McCarthy was play calling, unimaginative, and clock management. The fact that the Dallas Cowboys had 25 seconds left to go were able to get the ball back and have 3 timeouts goes to show you they are managing the clock well. Without those timeouts, you don't go down there and get that score. And for those out there that say Dak is mid, Dak is, like 15, Dak is playing as well as anybody in the NFL right now. Flat out. That should have been a win last week. His passes are dead on. Now, that's not to say there aren't some passes that might have been intercepted, but you can do that with any quarterback out there. Dak Prescott's been butter, baby. Kayvon Turpin, like I said, has got a hurt neck. He was making some key catches and things for the team and some early runs that actually helped out the team. I hope that he is not injured bad and that he does not miss time. Because the thing here is health is going to be key for us. Right now, Deron Bland being hurt in the secondary, although I won't say that it was all because Deron Bland was hurt. There seemed to be a lot of safety missed assignments. But I think when you have Bland out there, you are a much better secondary. The other thing, too, that was missing is the pass rush wasn't really able to get enough pressure on Russell Wilson. And hopefully Clowney will be able to help do that. And at some point, we'll end up getting an Overshown back. And Diggs hopefully will be in better shape, too, as time goes on, as he continues the process of healing. You weren't looking at Diggs. Remember, Diggs was hoping to be able to play by the end of September. And right now, we're relying on him fully early in September. So, again, keep in mind, don't get too excited or too upset by what you see in September, because you really don't know what the teams truly are until really October. And we're still feeling our way. But to get this win is huge in comparison to had we lost. You don't want to start out 0-2, but to get a win in the division and to understand that you're never out of a game. There's going to be games like this, but typically those are the kind of games that the Cowboys end up losing. Let me say, shout out to the New York Giants, because that was one hell of a game. You guys came in without any fear. You took no mercy on the Cowboys. You were out there hitting like mother humpers, and it was all out war. And this is what sucks about football is there's a winner and then there's a loser. And you guys deserve to win as much as the Cowboys did. But unfortunately, that's the way it goes. You win some, you lose some, and probably the Giants are going to lose a lot. But if you play like you did today, except on defense, you're going to win some games. So, Giants, I wouldn't hold your head down at all. We joke and we kid, but that was all-out war, and that was definitely a game for the ages, especially when you're sitting here watching the Atlanta Falcon Minnesota Viking game. I have to say, now this is just me, I could be wrong, but watching J.J. McCarthy is a major step down from Sam Darnold. J.J. McCarthy, I think he's thrown 3 interceptions tonight. He had a good half, the second half last week, but bro, you don't look that good tonight. He's looking bad. But that's the thing about football. From one week to the next, you can look like the Giants against the Commanders that look completely lifeless. And then the next week, you look like the Giants that should have gotten the win in Dallas. That's football, y'all. That's football. The defense, they got a lot of work to do. A whole lot of work to do. But I'm also going to say, Jerry forgetting Brian Schottenheimer. I think Schotty might be the right guy for the Dallas Cowboys. And so far, I love me some Schotty. So, with that being said, it has been one hell of a day. My back is killing me. And tomorrow starts the process of getting ready for this colonoscopy. So, if you're of age, and I've talked about this shit a lot because I'm hoping that I get the message across about how important it is to get your colon checked out. Colorectal cancer is no joke, and it's very, very preventable. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to fasting. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to the drink of death and sitting on the toilet and just literally crapping my brains out. But I'm going to say that pales in comparison to going through chemo or dying from colon cancer. Get your colon checked. And that's my message for you tonight. And remember to tell the people you love how much you love them. And as I'm on the precipice of turning 60, I don't think I'm living to be 120. I got a whole lot of miles behind me, not as many in front of me. And that's why you got to make the most of the time that you have here and enjoy the ride. Good night, good people. I love you. God willing, I'll see you tomorrow.